What is going on, everyone? It is me, the Lone Vault Wanderer, here with some news about Project Scorpio, Xbox upcoming console. That's probably not going to be called Project Scorpio, it's probably going to be called Xbox One Enhanced or something like that along those lines. But this is something that I've been keeping a close eye on for a while, and I wanted to talk about it because it's been announced that the Xbox One is going to be having an exclusive reveal later this week, so we'll get into that. First of all, let me clear up, my nose is completely blocked because I am sick as a dog at the moment. So I am sorry for that, but I really wanted to get a video out, or a couple of videos out anyways. I will be doing a For Honor Let's Play later today as well. So let's talk about Project Scorpio. Earlier today, Eurogamer.net on Twitter announced that, to clear up the speculation, Digital Foundry will have an exclusive Xbox Scorpio reveal on @Eurogamer this Thursday at 2 PM UK /6 AM Pacific. So obviously convert that to whatever your time zone is. No idea when that is for me. I probably should have checked that before this video, but I'm fucking tired. I got a headache, and I just want to talk about this fucking console. So, Digital Foundry doing an exclusive Xbox Scorpio reveal. Now, this is interesting because Digital Foundry is the outlet that is pretty much renowned and is best known for breaking down the technical aspects of games, you know, showing how well they run, also showing how well consoles run. They did a lot of coverage that I looked at with regards to the PS4 versus the PS4 Pro and see how those games ran compared to the previous console, especially in terms of frame rate, resolution, how resolution changes throughout a game, etc, things like that. So it's interesting that Project Scorpio is going to be using Digital Foundry as their exclusive reveal outlet, because Digital Foundry is typically pretty critical, not in a bad way. They talk purely facts. When you watch their videos and when they're talking about games and frame rate and graphical resolution and PC settings and shadows and all of those things, they tend to stick pretty much to the facts for the most part. But if a game isn't up to snuff, they will point it out. They will say, you know, this game has crappy resolution, this game has crappy frame rates in these instances, etc, etc. For example, they recently talked about Breath of the Wild and how that has frame rate issues in certain areas of the game, and also how those were improved in the latest patch, particularly in Kokiri Forest and places like that. So again, the point is, it's an interesting platform for Project Scorpio to be doing this reveal because Digital Foundry can be quite critical if there's stuff to be critical about. So it seems that Microsoft is pretty confident about this console, about the fact that it's going to have, you know, awesome performance. It's still 6 teraflops performance. We don't know what that means in terms of the CPU, GPU, etc. We do know that it's going to be able to run games, at least first-party games, you know, your Halos, etc., at 4K native resolution. I'm going to assume it's 30 FPS. I don't believe they're going to be going for 60 FPS. And also as well, this console is going to be significantly more powerful than the PS4 Pro. This is just me relaying information. I'm not saying, oh, Xbox is better than PlayStation. To be honest, I don't care about fanboy wars, but just stating the fact, it seems based on the pure numbers, on the pure technical specs for both of those consoles, Xbox Scorpio, or whatever it's going to be called, is going to be much more powerful, especially because it can run games at 4K native resolution. But I wanted to do a video because I actually wanted to ask all of you, what do you think about Project Scorpio? Are you excited for it? Are you excited for the reveal that's coming later this week on Thursday? Because I'm actually a bit of an Xbox fan. You know, I have an Xbox One. Previously to that, I have an Xbox 360. Before that, I also had a PS2, but then I moved on to those consoles. And for the most part, I really liked my Xbox. It's had the most major AAA third-party games come to it. It also has some great first-party exclusives, like Halo being the most important one. And for the most part, I've been happy with my Xbox gaming experience. And when Xbox revealed their Project Scorpio project, for lack of a better term, at E3 last year, I got a little bit excited because I thought, oh, could be an awesome chance to be able to play 4K games, to be able to buy a 4K TV, mind you, and experience my Xbox One games at a much better resolution than I do now. Because currently Xbox One games, if you don't know, they typically don't even reach 1080p native. Usually it's around 900p native and it's upscaled to 1080p. It can sometimes be less than that, and then of course as well the games are running at 30 FPS. Sometimes 60 I believe, especially with Forza, but usually it's not native 1080p and usually it's 30 FPS. And I was excited for Project Scorpio, not just because it's going to be able to run 4K games, but also as well, I think it's a strong possibility that for people that want to play 1080p 60 FPS games on the console, that could be a possibility. We don't know yet whether that's going to be possible, but we do know with the PS4 Pro that those kinds of options are available, where you can have an enhanced mode for old PS4 games that make it run at a better resolution and frame rate. I believe that is the case Do not quote me on that, but regardless, it should be a strong possibility for Project Scorpio to both be able to run your games at either 4K 30 FPS or 1080p 60 FPS. And this is enticing, again, even if you don't own a 4K TV, even if you just want to be able to play your games at twice the FPS, it's an interesting prospect, and I was initially excited for it, especially because at that year's E3, Xbox had a great suite of games, and hopefully they announced another great bunch of Xbox One first-party exclusives, because right now, especially after the cancellation of Scalebound, it seems a bit lacking on the console. But those were my initial thoughts, right? Now, I don't really play my Xbox One much, and that's not really because I don't like the console or because I don't like the games. I mean, Xbox One currently is in a better state than it's ever been before. I mean, I remember purchasing this day one, the Xbox One console, and the features weren't really there, the UI was a little bit clunky, of course the day one games weren't that great, but now there are so many new and great features on the Xbox One. There are also a bunch more games, especially considering backwards compatibility. So my issue's not with the state of the Xbox One. It could do with a few more first-party exclusives, but really the reason why I've stopped playing it, one, I've been playing a fuckload of Switch, but even before that, before the Switch was actually released, I wasn't really playing my Xbox One because I was playing predominantly on PC. When I play games, I tend to like to play on my PC because I can stream, record for Let's Plays, and capture content, etc. And a lot of the games that I like that are on my Xbox One are also on my PC. Now, there are a lot of exceptions to that, but predominantly I've been playing on my PC for those reasons. Also because of the fact that I have a PC with a GTX 970, which is kind of old nowadays, but it still beats out the Xbox One. It still outputs better resolution games and better frame rate games than the Xbox One can. So in terms of gaming experience, when a PC game isn't buggy at least, games tend to run better on my PC. So that's why I've lent towards my PC. So I don't know whether, because of my personal circumstances, whether I'd be picking up Project Scorpio, because I don't really play my Xbox One now. What is going to change when the Project Scorpio is released? Nothing really, unless there's a huge suite of first-party games that you can't get on the PC that come out on Project Scorpio. I'm not really going to have an incentive to buy it, especially when you also have to bear in mind that whatever comes out on Project Scorpio is going to be coming out on my Xbox One anyways. So unless I'm really hankering for that 4K experience, I don't see a good enough reason for me to buy Project Scorpio yet, especially bearing in mind that to get the full experience, I would also need to buy a 4K TV, and I don't have that now. I only have a 1080p TV, and also as well, I'm potentially looking into buying a new upgraded PC for my YouTube needs and my streaming needs and my gaming needs. Again, I mentioned before, I have a GTX 970, so it's getting a little bit outdated. It's not really outdated, it was just the last gen of NVIDIA graphics cards, but with the new 1060s, 1070s and 1080s coming out, even the 1080 Ti, there are much better graphics cards out there. And right now I start to notice my PC is struggling with the newer games running them at ultra settings. To be honest, my GTX 970 can't run newer games, modern games, at 1080p 60 FPS at ultra settings. It's just not possible. Usually I have to tone things down. So I've been looking into buying a new PC, and what are my options here? Either buy a Project Scorpio and a 4K TV, or buy maybe a 4K or even a 1440p capable PC with a monitor to match it. I think that's going to be my better option because of how I currently game, because of how I currently stream and record Let's Plays, etc. So initially, I was really excited for the Project Scorpio, but for those personal reasons, I'm not sure if I'm going to be picking it up, at least at launch anyways. Maybe when there's a price drop, who knows? And also as well, maybe once I buy a 4K TV. But it still seems like a really cool console, a really beefy console that's going to be able to run 4K games. And I can see it appealing to many gamers that simply want to just buy a console. They don't want to go through the hassle of either building or buying a PC and dealing with PC gaming issues. They just want to buy a console, plug it into the outlet, and play 4K games. And that's really the benefit of console gaming, because it's much easier to set up and play games as opposed to a PC, which usually has issues, etc. But that's not the topic of this video. I want to get all of your thoughts as to what you think about the Project Scorpio, whether you're excited for it, and whether you're going to be picking it up at launch. Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourself, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.